his gonads. So he...
But then the last episode, rubies flying, people getting ripped to pieces. Welcome to Wanna Weeb. I'm Lace and this is Pina.
Ooh, what up?
And we're missing Echo. He's...
Yeah.
We actually... There was so much going on in Reign of the Seven Blades that we forgot to look for her. I'm pretty sure she was probably one of the students. And we were just like...
There was so much going on. She may have been at the parade, knowing her, but...
Yeah, or at the buffet,
she's always
too.
down for a party and good food.
Yeah, so...
What was that?
Or at the buffet, like when they had their welcome dinner. I would have some of that food. That looked really good.
Like I said, good food, so that's a good point.
Yeah. So anyways, as like I just mentioned, we watched Reign of the Seven Blades. The first episode and the last episode of Season 1. Apparently Season 2 is not out yet. A lot happened. And we have a lot to talk about. So let's start!
A lot of confusing stuff happened, too.
Alright. I feel like... Okay, let's rate it now, and then rate it after we discuss, and see if our rating is gonna change.
Okay.
What do you think?
Alright, I
we're
like that.
changing things around. Because maybe we're gonna change each other's minds, you know?
Persuade each other.
Yeah.
Either in a good way or in a bad way. We'll find out.
So overall, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna give it a 4.
4, okay.
Is this the lowest rating I've ever given in any of our episodes? And let me tell you very quickly why, and then we can get to your rating. This is a total ripoff. Okay? It is so unoriginal. There's like... Even the character designs are a complete ripoff of Harry Potter. I don't know about, you know, like the episodes in between, but it's just Hogwarts. It's just Harry Potter. It's just Hermione Granger split into two people.
Yes.
And if the whole season is about them going to classes and learning how to do potions and riding a broom, flying a broom, then I'll give it even a lower rating. But I'm not saying, okay, I'm not saying it's a bad anime, because like I really enjoy watching it and it was beautiful. I really love like all the animations. I really love how they like highlighted in red and different colors. Like I love that, but I can't. It's a ripoff. It's a complete ripoff of Harry Potter. I like that they had the blade, like that was something different, but just call it what it is. If they called it Harry Potter anime, 6.5, 7, you know? But that's just kind of how I feel about it right now. We'll see if you change my mind, if I change my own mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I stand right now. What about you?
Okay, well. Spoiler alert. We weren't too fond about this. I was gonna give that probably like a 5.2. Just bearable enough to be like, alright, got my interest. Do I want to watch it again? Not necessarily, but is there enough in there to catch my attention, like with the art style and whatnot, and a lot of like the in between of what's going on, because we were left with a lot of questions at the end. So I am definitely interested in that. That's why I'm going to give it that. But for the reasons on why I'm giving it also so low is more or less the same thing. It's the storyline's kind of bland so far for whatever storyline I've seen, and it's a ripoff. It's Harry Potter the anime, just with a skewed storyline to try to make it not 1-for-1. But yeah.
Let's see what people are rating. Okay, user score is 6.56, higher than expected, but also everything is either higher or lower than expected.
Very true.
I just got a pop-up ad. Oh no, what happened?
Oh no.
But we gave it a 4.6.
A 4.6?
Yeah, between yours and mine, it's 4.6. Because we
All
learned.
right, so far
You learned how to do math last time, right?
Yeah, yes, I did. I completely remembered how to do it.
Don't worry, I got you. I do math all day long.
Got my back.
All right, let's start with our countdown, the final countdown of similarities between the two. We can put it right here.
Oh, that's right. So in the React, we were trying to catch how many similarities from Harry Potter we were seeing in this. Yeah, because come on, you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, you're not missing much.
36.
36?
And majority of it was in episode 1. Because I feel...
That's very true.
Okay. Between you and I feel like in the last episode, we were just so confused and so shocked and so... just what the hell, that, like, we didn't really count much. But also... like, I feel like a lot happened, but also nothing happened. They were just... there was a lot of talking.
Yeah. Yeah, because... Alright, so... to get to the end, we gotta go from the beginning, right? We're introduced with all those characters, and a lot of those similarities we were seeing was our main protagonist, dark-haired guy, and a wizard. Finds out he lives with his cousins. Well, aunt and uncle. That chalks that up to be Harry Potter there. Bad bang, bada boom. Then we go move on to his buddies. Who's the first two people we meet?
Hermione.
Hermione Granger, the dirty blonde, brown hair brunette with the little bang cut thing going on, and then turns right around. Oh, here comes the other friend, the redhead ginger that lives on the farm. Shocking.
And then we also had...
and that's not even talking about the samurai friend.
Yeah. We also had magical school that looked like Hogwarts. That they're
giant mountain castle.
Mm-hmm. And students die. That was at the very, very beginning. They was like, oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, they emphasize that at the very beginning. 20% of these students die.
I like
don't
that.
make it. Don't, they failed the class. No, die.
But imagine.
Send your 14-year-old here.
At least they give us heads up, right? Because imagine if, like, Attack on Titan, they were like, oh, by the way, 99% of these people and all other people are gonna die. Like, like...
Yeah.
It'd be a completely different watch.
Yes, and I will say, though, like Attack on Titan, they did not hold back on the gore when they did kill people.
Oh, yeah, it was bloody.
My God.
Whoa. I feel like my eyes were about to, like, pop out from complete shock. Is it our editor?
Oh, it's our editor. Everybody say hi to Rowan.
Hi. Rowan's just like, what are you guys doing? I have a backlog.
Lay on your lap.
We also had brooms, flying on brooms, sneaking out at night. We had a troll in the first episode.
Yeah, the very first episode. And who's the most fond one? The one that has to, like, kind of approach it first?
Hermione.
And they're saving Hermione, Darren. Are they not?
Yeah.
They are in the first episode.
Yeah.
And what happens here? They're saving Hermione here.
37.
Had that.
I wonder if they played chess at one point.
No, I'm sure. Probably in, like, the 4th episode. I will say I did like the fact that they had their swords that they could use as wands. Yeah. They did have wands, though. So, I mean, but that was pretty neat to see that as a tool.
Well, now that you said it, why do they have wands if they have blades that are magical?
Dual wield? You got your sword and your dagger?
Two-handed. It's not a two-handed weapon, I mean, technically their swords are, so... whatever.
Some of those guys were.
We don't have...
This was a very light sword.
Yeah. You know what I was missing, though?
What?
You know how in Harry Potter, they all got, like, a frog or an owl?
Oh, yeah, they're others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have that.
They're spirit animal.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't at all.
Oh, that sucks. That's a good point.
Maybe they did get it later. You just didn't see it.
Maybe in season 2.
Yeah, maybe maybe they didn't want to pack everything into the first episode, you know? Like,
Yeah, right.
it was literally
And they
like
were invited by mail.
it
By
was
Owl Carry.
Oh, we can talk about differences, okay? And I think I know your favorite difference.
What's that?
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore? Hey, man. Boy, howdy. Let me tell you something. I would have rolled in there instantly. I'd be like, 20%, I like those odds. Those are surgery odds.
For our editor, Rowan, can you please put a picture of Dumbledore and Reign of the Seven Blades Dumbledore? I want to see it on screen, side by side.
It's almost identical.
I mean,
Silver hair, great big knowledge and wisdom.
mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
And also, like, kind of scaring students at the beginning. I feel like, maybe I remember it wrong, but didn't Dumbledore also something like, you know, don't go to the woods, like, it's dangerous or something?
Oh yeah, they definitely laid some ground rules. These areas are cool, these areas aren't. So,
Yeah.
that could be a trope, but Harry Potter did it, so count that.
Okay, so what, were we 38 now? We're just counting up.
38, 39.
You know what? At the very end, we also saw a bunch of professors walking. And one of them you said was what, on meth or something? It looked like it was on crack.
Yeah, dude, they definitely coked out.
They did have a professor in Harry Potter that was like completely like wild, didn't they?
They did have a couple of bad ones.
Yeah. So can we
A couple
count
of
that?
bad eggs in there. Peter Pettigrew in there. Yeah, I remember that.
All right, 39. Crazy professor. Oh
I did
my
like
God.
when they went to the banquet, they all ended up floating upside down and the banquet was on the ceiling, or they must have entered on the ceiling. And I mean on the floor and then moved to the ceiling.
Yeah.
But I don't remember them because they showed people entering through doors. So is like half the castle upside down and the other half? You know what I mean?
You expect too much from this anime.
Don't expect too much from the anime, she said.
Well, I feel like we may get a lot of hate for hating it, but
I don't think so.
okay, I love
Because-
Harry Potter though, okay? Like, it's not
Yeah.
about the story, it's about it being ripped off.
Yeah, and I will say the story doesn't really seem like it's pretty solid so far. I mean, we missed a lot, but when we got to the end, it was this massive love triangle bullshit that ended up the way of beating them when there was only 2 ways of beating them: killing her or destroying the womb that they called it. Which there was a lot of metaphors in the show that I did not like.
Yeah.
Like the seed comment at one point, that was extra.
You know, that makes me think. The first episode, up until the last, like, minute,
Yes,
it was for children, okay? It was for kids.
Yeah, it wasn't lewd whatsoever.
Yeah, but then the last episode, boobies flying, people getting ripped to pieces, blood everywhere, soul gore, people talking about sex. Like, what happened?
Oh my god, the line, they removed his gonads, so he's not. What the fuck, dude? They removed his gonads so he can't be on a spell of sexual desire or some stuff like that.
It honestly, it felt like, I feel like I was very confused because it didn't even feel like the same anime. Like, what the hell are we watching? Like, we literally went from like, oh yeah, this is a cool anime for like, you know, JoJo or something, like pre-teen, teen, to literally hentai. I was just waiting for her to like get out of like her womb and like go have a good time with that
Right,
person that
dude?
came.
Every time I saw the tentacles shoot out, I was like, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't.
I'm sure we could find something like that somewhere
Echo.
in the internet. Oh, you found her?
Echo has returned from the 7 Spellblades. How was the ripped off Harry Potter?
Well, I just walked in. You guys are saying tentacles. Do I really want to know what you watched?
It was a ripped off animated version of Harry Potter. It's not a big deal. There was tentacles at one point, but luckily enough, they did stray away from doing the obvious.
Okay, so Harry Potter, no tentacle hentai. I'm sorry I missed it. It was a magical trip. I had to go. I got my letter.
It was a banging time. You missed it.
It was banging?
I mean, probably his roommate wanted to bang him, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh. What was that about?
He opened up a lot.
Remember, like, at the beginning...
I'm glad you enjoyed your trip, Echo. Love you.
Remember at the very beginning, he was just like, I don't even want to introduce myself. Like, you don't need to know my name. To later on,
I want no friends.
I want to see him. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. As he's falling into the mud.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the way they said that too, it made it seem like he was sinking, and then he fell into the water.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want to see them. I want to see him. And they're like, get up, Pete. Hey, get up. He's just like, huh? He's like this far in the mud.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
So dramatic.
Honestly, if they kissed, I would have given it 4.1, but they didn't kiss, so.
Oh, dude, that immediately when they said that and they embraced each other in that hug, I was like, yes.
I was waiting for it.
Oh.
I was waiting for it.
I was about to say, because I was going to be like, sick, they're representing. Speaking of representing, though, I love the fact that they had people of other, like, ethnicities. They had this one blonde girl that was real tan. So, and then they also showed later on this teacher, I'm assuming, or another student, I think a teacher, though, happened to be black. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Which you don't really see a whole lot in anime.
I think it was a student. It looked very young.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe a senior student.
They look very young. And also, was it a... They kind of had
it was a girl.
chest? It was a girl? Okay, I didn't catch that.
I'm almost positive it was a lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just cute.
Yeah.
Just so cute.
Yeah,
and I really like the dreadlock on his side, too.
Yeah, her hair is all done up and she had one dread down.
And the person she was...
like built, she's very athletic.
Yeah, and the person she was walking with, I was also not sure whether it was a guy or woman. But then I think their pronouns were him, I think, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, it was so much going on. I was like missing half of it. But also when they were talking about the... I don't even want to say the word.
Yes.
They say they. Like the character that was like narrating it said they.
Yeah.
So does it mean that multiple people or that specific character that we saw go by they them? Did you catch that?
Want to give the anime the respect, but I don't think they're that deep. I don't think they think that deep. I'm almost positive why they keep referring to that character as they them is because they removed his gonads.
Oh.
And that's my fucked up way of thinking, because I can't give it the respect of thinking it would be intelligent enough to be that respectful, you know?
Yeah.
But I could be wrong, because we haven't seen any character flat out be open about their sexuality. We know one is obviously closeted at the end, but, you know, I don't think that they've all opened up, if there are any. But yeah.
Yeah. When we saw...
I like to think that's the case, though, that they did.
Yeah. Like, that's kind of how I took it, as they, were going by they, them pronoun. I guess I was just naive and did not think about the aspect of it.
The other implications.
And also we saw a lot of characters that seemed very quirky as well, like very like queer. So yeah. I don't know if that was on purpose or it's just like that's what they did. I wasn't sure. Like I kind of thought like, oh yeah, that would be so great. Like, you know, having more representation. But
Yeah, exactly.
know.
I was rooting for the representation in that. I was like, this is gonna be cool. But at the same time, if they didn't, I'm not gonna be too bummed because it is kind of a meh anime to be like, yeah, they showed equality and representation at all forms. Storyline sucks, but and you know,
Storyline
I don't
sucks.
really, yeah, you know, because like it doesn't help too that like our main character, our protagonist, is the over-the-top heroism. No, you must save some of the food for the others. Here, allow me. Folds out the plates out. Oh, you're gonna be cold. Let me cover you with a blanket. Ah, madam, you shall not bathe outside. Cover thyself. You know, like, come on, dude.
Wait. He said purify.
Yes, pure.
Let's talk about that. How cringy and how weird.
Well, okay, I think because we were, as that was happening, we're like, yay, no lewd, fuck lewd. When that was happening, I'm almost positive she was talking about how, that was like a traditional for her back at her home country to do, is to bathe yourself in a certain way to purify yourself from blah, blah, blah. I think, because I saw a flashback at one point before, I was like, ah! But
Yeah, because I was also
now, I could be
considering...
completely wrong, because he could easily have been that cringy person that tips his fedora down a little bit and goes, you gotta purify yourself.
I was also wondering if the fountain had some like magical properties or something, and maybe that's why he said purified versus like washed, but
Yeah.
we also might have missed
and
it.
also, the fact that he does like a black ring curtain around the place, like, no, shield your eyes there. And he stayed in the circle instead of just putting the circle around it, you know? He's like, I must be a true gentleman. I must revert my eyes.
We did not have this like balance of having like a character that was more of like on like the bad side. Like we didn't have like a Vegeta, you know, like where's my Vegeta? We didn't
Oh yeah,
have
no
the Vegeta.
tsundere.
What was everyone just super nice?
Yeah, everybody, I mean, they had like their temper, but everyone was awfully friendly with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Pete, he was a little standoffish, but he wasn't necessarily a
Rude.
I wouldn't necessarily say he was a tsundere.
No.
He wasn't very harsh. He was still willing to accept conversation.
Yeah, enjoying the friend group.
Yeah, especially 15 episodes later.
Yeah.
Literally in love with his roommate.
Yeah, like it was just very like
Mhm.
it was like a blob of like, yeah, we're so great, like we're all good people, we all study hard. It
We're
was
the
like no
best.
balance.
And also at the, like to just help like, you know, bounce off of what you just said there, at the festival there's like hundreds of people there, but it's just our 6 taking care of the big baddie, the troll.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody else is gonna step in. Where's an adult when you need one?
There's an adult.
What's
That's
going on
true.
here, guys?
That's true. And also,
But they were the good guys, so they all had a gang together.
yeah. And also, like at the very end, why wasn't Hermione with them? She was back at the school.
No, I think she was with them, because I remember seeing her on one of the brooms at one point, get shot at.
Oh, wait, let me take a look. Because when they
A little bit of
got
investigating
back, like she said hello to them
Yeah.
in school. No, I'm
Mhm.
scrolling through. I don't see her.
It
It
was
wa-
before they got in that big fight.
There's another girl with blonde curly hair that we've never seen before.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Maybe. Yeah,
Could've
maybe
been
that's
one of
what you
them.
saw. Yeah, because we had the one with blonde curly hair, and there was another
Yeah,
one that
yeah,
was short that also had blonde curly hair. But I don't see Hermione here. She wasn't fighting.
I wonder what she was doing, tending the flowers back home, helping the troll.
I wonder if she was like injured or something.
Oh,
So
maybe.
she couldn't go.
Fell during Quidditch.
Yeah. She was just studying in the library, you know.
I got time for this. Flicks her little keychain. She goes back in time.
Yeah. Also, one thing that I feel like was a miss. We had this, you know, a beautiful picture of Hogwarts, of the school. A couple of times we saw it from a distance, but we didn't really get the sense of like how magical of a place it was in the school. You know, like when he went for a walk, we just saw him in the room and then outside. Like we didn't have this like environment building, like, you know, talking paintings or, you know, magical, like even like when he's walking, like why aren't they showing him walking outside of his room and like torches light up as he walks through, you know, because like kind of make it magical. It just doesn't seem like the environment is magical at all, except the welcome dinner when they just like flipped over to ceiling. That was the only thing in the first episode. But in the second episode, we didn't see any of the school until the end when they like said hello to each other. But I feel like that is something that was missing. Like we get the characters are magical, but what about the world? Like we saw some creatures, but like I'm talking about just like the environment, you know?
Yeah. No, because that's like bounce back off of its predecessor, Harry Potter. That was one of the things that really engaged us. When you walk in, you see all the staircases moving around, you see the pictures talking, the ghosts floating. That's really fun world building inside the location. And eventually it gets to the point where they walk around enough, you can kind of just tell where you are while watching the show. Yeah. Oh, they're close to the cafeteria over here. This, none of that. It's just, hey, this is our location. Boop. Now we're in this location. Boop. We're outside. We'll show nature. Boop. Now we're in this location. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with that. Would have been cool.
Mm-hmm. There was, like, very little traveling, like, the world.
Yeah. And the one thing that I thought was, like, really just kind of, like, that immediately grabbed my, my sus. I was like, no, it's going to be one of those. Is, as soon as we meet our main protagonist, I keep forgetting his name, but as soon as we meet him, he's instantly like, oh, I'm so smart and I can't wait. And I'm so chivalrous. And the more we get to see him, like, during the troll fight, before the troll thing happened, everyone's bickering. He's like, guys, everyone calm down. Maybe we should all get to know each other. And I was like, all right, that's brownie points. Hopefully they don't go anything bigger and worse than that. Keep it pretty modest. That'd be pretty solid. Nope, they immediately jump the shark. As soon as the fight happens, he's like, no, everyone stop. Listen to me, do exactly what I say, and she'll live. And everyone's like, damn it, you're right. We got your back, dude. And I'm like, oh, and even like, he's like a super smarty pants. Like, one of the cringy things that he said earlier, too, is like, when she was purifying herself. He's like, no matter how many times he purifies herself, I still smell the scent. There's still that faint scent of blood or something like that. I still smell blood on her. I was like, oh, God.
This anime came out last year. I mean, it was released last year. I don't know. I think it's based on the manga, actually. But I think this was around the time when there's a lot of anime where the protagonist was, like, overpowered. You know? The one with, like the Demon Lord reincarnated or all that stuff. Like, the protagonist is already super powerful. And I feel like that's not... I don't know, I watched a couple of those type of animes, and missing that growth just kind of makes me feel like, such a douchebag.
Yeah,
you know, like...
Absolutely.
Just like, great.
Yeah, maybe if he's a bit of a douchey, arrogant asshole, or like way too confident for his own good, and then slowly gets humbled as he goes, then maybe I'll be like, I got it. But that doesn't really seem to be the case here.
Yeah, and I feel like it's harder to relate because none of us are great at something the first time we try, you know? Like, you have to learn, you have to make mistakes to grow. And when you have
yourself, dude.
But when you have a character who's like already perfect, like, I feel like it makes you feel worse about yourself as well. It's like, oh, why are they so great? Like, you know, without putting any effort in. I don't think that's a great way to kind of put characters out there, especially for younger, you know, like kids and teenagers and younger adults to kind of look up to. Like, I get it, like, this is not an anime you're gonna like find, you know, like your hero that you're gonna look up to, but it's still
but it
out
can
there.
have a good deep meaning behind it.
Yeah, like
good storytelling and character development.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, just like those unattainable, like, you know, benchmarks that you'll never get. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's just like such a weird thing to have, and I feel very strongly also about like similar things, like, you know, we have to have realistic representation of people and situations and love, like in you know, in media in general. And I feel like at first I was so excited when Pete was like, oh, I need to see him, because I was just like, oh my gosh, did they actually develop, you know, like same-sex like story in here? Like, I was so excited. I was like, oh wow, this is great. No. It was one-sided.
It's all in his head.
It was one-sided.
So we know Pete has character development, but what about everybody else?
Yeah. But I don't know, I was really upset. I was like, oh, like maybe they had that going for them, but no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Nah. That's the bummer part about it, man. And because there are like really good animes out there that do have good character development, even especially for the main protagonist. That's what you want. And but I think a lot of this, because that stereotype was always there, the protagonist is like the best of the best, or somehow eventually becomes the best of the best. But for this example only, the best of the best, like Yu Yu Hakusho. As soon as he comes around, he's pretty much fucking guns ablazing there. Bleach. As soon as Ichigo gets on the scene, he's badass instantly. But I think it was after 2012 with 2011 with SAO, Sword Art Online, was one of the first times we started noticing that it was like super popular to have like a very bland protagonist, someone that can like insert themselves. I'm the best, I'm the smartest, I'm the kindest, I'm the heroic, blah 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 blah, and that just became the copy and paste for like, you know, major IDs moving forward.
I don't know why.
Here recently it's been changing, but I did notice that was like the main story plot for everything.
Yeah.
And guys.
And I know I'm so biased and I talk about Dragon Ball all the time. But the main protagonist of Dragon Ball, and actually every single character in Dragon Ball, have so many flaws. Like, Goku may be the strongest, but he's working so hard for it. But he's such a shitty person. He's such a shitty father. Yes. He's such a shitty friend. He constantly leaves his, you know, his friends and his family, and he's so selfish in so many ways. But then he has like redeeming characters, you know, like he's really like fighting to save the world, to save the people that he loves. And when he's there, he's really there, you know, like helping with the farm and like really making sure that Chi-Chi has like everything she's asking for. Like, he was trying to get his driving license. Like, she nagged him, sure, but he was trying his best in his own ways, you know. Like, I feel like I have such a hard time loving a character that is so perfect, that like it's so unrealistic. Like, it's not a real person. Like, and I get it, this anime doesn't have to be a real person, but like have like a character that is somewhat believable, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a real person, but it can be a real story, you know, a real character, you know, like human aspects behind it in real life shit. And that, I'm glad you actually said something about the farming thing, because I was going to ask you about that. In the new Dragon Ball Super that's coming out or whatnot, he stopped working out, he stopped fighting and everything, right? And he became a farmer for a little while for Chi-Chi. He got a job, right?
Not really.
That was like one of her requests in one of the prior seasons. I think even in D, she said, "When you're done with this, I just want you to just be a regular father, a regular person, get a job, get a driver's license, and just be normal." And I think he's doing that now, right?
Not really. I mean, he is
Uh-oh.
farming. He's farming. He's working the land, but he's terrible at it. And also, he's practicing at the same time, and that's kind of why he like goes far, because he's like practicing on it, like by himself. But that doesn't last long. It was literally just one episode, and then like he got he got recruited. You know.
God, I hope it was at least 5 years in their time.
I mean, in their time, I think it's a little longer, but
okay, God,
you know.
boy, poor Chi-Chi can't get a dub, man.
Yeah, but as always, he got recruited to save the world. Multiverse, actually.
Multiverse this time.
Multi-universe. But yeah, like he's trying his best, but you know Goku.
Yeah, it's Goku at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Goku going Goku.
But meanwhile,
that's why you gotta hope Vegeta brings him back.
Yeah, but
yes, in the meanwhile,
Vegeta is like the perfect father. He's still practicing, but he's taking his daughter to go shopping. You know, he's so good to his son. Like he's the father that they need. You know.
He's the father he never had.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a father for his a little early childhood. Like I think he was like up to like 6 or 9.
Yeah, but I mean, how fatherly was he?
I mean, it depends what you watch. There are a couple of like movies or like maybe short clips where Vegeta Senior is actually really nice to Vegeta Junior. But then there's others like not. But
yeah, I was always under the impression that he was a dick.
I guess it depends. Like I don't know. There's so many Dragon Ball like movies and clips and like little short movies that are like contradictory. So it's kind of hard to figure out.
The lore goes all over the place.
Yeah, and like, you know, GT is completely out of the way, and then we have Dragon Ball Daima coming up. I'm pretty... Did it release this week? The time we were recording, not the time it's live. I am pretty sure it's actually being released this week.
A new one? Is it a movie?
It's a show.
Oh. Interesting.
Yes, it is. Oh, it was actually last week. The first episode aired in Japan, not here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's on our list.
Follow Kid Goku?
Yes. I mean, I think he's getting turned into like a cheapy. It's going to be more like a comedy, from what I'm hearing. It is on our list, so we will watch it sooner or later.
Sick. I can't wait.
Once it gets to the States, I guess.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But I'm definitely not watching...
somebody on YouTube ripping it.
I'm definitely not watching season 2, Reign of the Seven Spellblades. If it does come out, I'm not interested. Yeah. I've seen plenty of Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If I want to watch Harry Potter, I'm going to just go watch Harry Potter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If I'm interested in watching Spellblades again, I'll go watch Harry Potter.
You know what? It actually reminded me of something I watched recently. I watched Zom 100, a TV show.
Yeah.
Right? But then later on, the next day, I was like, oh, there's Zom 100 anime. Because when I was watching the TV show, I was like, oh, it's like very animated. Like it has like a very anime style. I was like, oh, maybe because, you know, the director or whatever, like the vision, maybe that's what they wanted to do. But like, which came first, the anime or the show? I watched both, by the way. It was great.
So the live action came out first, and then I think they were pretty damn close to each other. But I'm pretty sure the live action and then the anime one came out.
Yeah.
Did they ever finish that? Because I'm pretty sure that went on hiatus.
I watched whatever Netflix had available.
Yeah, because I remember hearing, because me and Echo watched the first episode. Beautiful. The animation's awesome. The storyline's super fun so far. And I did like speaking of real aspects of it, I did like that they showed like a pretty real aspects of life working over there can be like. I did like that. That was pretty cool. And then, yeah, I heard something about like episode 7 or something like that. The writers went on strike because the animators went on strike because they just weren't getting paid enough. Pay people who work for you. And it's the least you can do. and pay them fair to the work that they do. Anyways, they weren't doing that, so they went on a strike, a little hiatus. So I don't know if they ever finished it or not. Never followed up.
I see, like, if they did that with Harry Potter, if they actually did say, like, hey, this is, like, animated Harry Potter, I wouldn't be mad. You know, if they, like, if they completely just go, like, okay, like, this is what we're gonna do, like, I wouldn't be mad, and I would actually watch it. Like, I feel like it would be really cool. I really like watching the same stuff in, like, a different form. So that would be great, but they didn't do that, so...
It was just way too much of a blatant ripoff, and it was too much of... It was too many tropes. Too tropey. Way too much for it. Like, we know what they want. They want bland-based protagonist, meh storyline, most likely a harem. I haven't seen all of it, but most likely a harem.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're going to give, you know, jiggle physics to anybody who has anything bigger than a double D.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just... You know, they could have at least changed their hair color or something. At least do that.
Right, that was way too much on the nose. Black, brunette, red. Oh, come on, main head of the school, silver.
Yeah, it was just so obvious. I'm honestly kind of surprised that they haven't been sued. Maybe they have, and we just don't know.
Oh.
But it's just too close.
There's probably enough in here to distinguish it, and also, I mean, we can kind of. People can easily bitch about, whoa, Hocus Pocus had brooms and wands and red hairs and brunettes and blondes and okay, yes, you know. So I'm sure there's enough in those IPs to make it different. You know, it's easily its own standalone, but god damn, does it not look awfully familiar to something else?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's no arguing that it's at least episode 1 that is straight up Harry Potter. Like,
oh my god,
there's just no way. You know how they have those like random like remakes of like very popular movies, very popular in Russia to redo it because like Russia doesn't really, you know, subscribe to Disney or whatnot. But that's kind of how it felt. Kind of how it felt.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's like it's like super jarring. It's like, okay, I can see that you guys are trying to use the same IP with like a difference in all. Like Ghostbusters when they went from the original to like the all female cast to try to, you know, like universe swap that, and it was just way too jarring, and also the comedy was trash in that one also. So it's kind of like the original was pretty good, and then they try to, you know, swap it here, and the storyline, meh, and none of it was good. Apples and oranges, but still.
Alright, so my final thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I keep my score of 4. Honestly, like, I would even put it lower, but whatever. Give it 4 because the animation is just so beautiful. I really like the animation. So honestly, the 4 points is just for the animation.
Just for the animation. Yep.
I would summarize this anime as, you know, you can copy my homework, just make it a tiny bit different so the teacher doesn't know. And that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Beautiful. I'm going to keep it at the 5.2 for all the stuff I had said earlier, and that animation does hold a lot of that weight, and the only reason why I would keep it at that 5.2 is because of that in between. If I had watched that, would that help boost it higher or lower? Keeps that in there, that curiosity there. But yeah, and it's very much of what you said there. That was flawless. That was perfect. that was excellent. Just good.
All right, so
that gives us a Wannabe rating of
4.6.
4.6.
The lowest one, yeah.
View at your own discretion.
And our final countdown of similarities for episode 1 and in the last episode is 39.
39. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Lower than 100. I was shooting for. But honestly,
if this was test scores, you did pretty well if it was like basketball. But unfortunately, these are golf rules.
yeah, so I feel like if we watch the whole thing, it would definitely get to 100, but maybe not in just like 2 episodes. But yeah, I feel like all in all, it was great watching this with you. I feel like it was great fun. As always, we can watch anything and have a good time. Even something so difficult
yes, even
to
something
watch.
as trashy as this.
You know,
and now we know if we have anything in the pipeline where we're like, all right, they've been pissing me off. Hey, let's go watch what happened in between Spellblades, huh?
For sure. You know, everything is better with friends. And with that, thank you so much for sticking with us through this podcast episode. If you haven't seen our reaction to episode 1 and 15, I feel like it's worth the watch. It will explain a lot of what we talked about. You can go back and watch it again, or watch it the first time. And of course, subscribe, follow us everywhere. You know where the links are.
Down there, over here.
Leave the comment and let us know what you thought about it and what's your score. Maybe we'll sum it all up and give you the rating between our scores and yours.
Yes. Maybe yours is going to be a little bit higher and persuade us why it is.
Or maybe you think it's, you know, in between is a really great anime that we should go back to. Maybe
yeah, tell us if we're missing out on something.
Yeah, let us know.
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye. Because I saw it like a whole second and a half later.
Yeah, see, how's this? I'll tell you when I see you. 3, 2, 1. Now.
What? Okay, as long
All
as everything's fine. All right.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, this is one a week. We're solid. Place perfect. What? Come on. What is there to worry?
We good.